Hello, hello. Melissa May Dillon here, live on my personal page on Facebook, and then we upload it to my YouTube channel. I think we're live. Yes, we're live. Okay. I hate Facebook has this lag time, but like it starts, but like you don't know that it starts, and then sometimes it immediately starts, and then sometimes it doesn't, and it's like, bah. Anyway. Melissa May Dillon, live here on my personal page on Facebook, and then we upload it to my YouTube channel at Melissa May Dillon. If you're on the YouTube channel, please make sure to subscribe. And if you're on Facebook or YouTube, drop a comment. Let me know what's up. I would love to be able to hear from you. And oh my God, can you feel how much is coming out of me right now? I just had the most amazing virtual acupuncture session ever. And never in my life would I have thought that I would do something like that. But I had this amazing opportunity. I was involved in another group, and this woman was sharing that she does this. And I was like, I would love to know what that is. She's like, would you like a free session? I would love to gift you one. And I was like, heck yes. So I just had a session with her. And this is not the first, like, I've actually had multiple things today. And all of it was centered around healing this little baby Melissa inside of me who, like, my sister's talking about in her, like, everything is all just coming together in this, like finally in this situation. It's like all coming, like all the pieces from all the puzzles are coming into one spot. And I feel like everything just succinctly, magically happened in this moment today. But let me share with you a little bit. Like my sister talks in her self program, and she talked about how basically ours, when we're 0 to 8, anything that happens to us that we didn't feel safe about, that's the person, that's the one who's running all of our decisions in our life. So like as I'm growing and as I'm building my business, if my little 0 to 8-year-old doesn't feel safe, I can only stretch so far. I can only grow my business so much because my little 8-year-old, however old she is, doesn't want to be seen, doesn't want to be heard, and, wants to be protected. So I know this, I logically know this. And oh, my little baby, she's outside. I logically know this, but being able to heal that inner part of you, heal that baby version of you, it's a journey. And I've done layers of it before, and I've even created an inner healing child meditation. And that one was really geared towards, making peace with all the versions of you that had to exist for you to be where you are today. Like there's a version of me, there's many versions of me that I've existed in this lifetime that I'm not really proud of. And so that meditation was more or less like letting that go. But where I went today was so deep, so profound. And it was amazing. And so in this experience, I'll just share with you exactly what happened with me. And she even recorded it, so we have it available somewhere. We'll see I don't know exactly what we're going to be doing with that. But so one of the biggest things for me, and I've talked about this before, I recently did a video on it, is I'm an anger addict. Like anger is so close to me. I can immediately get into anger. Like it takes work and effort for me to get to a place where I feel in gratitude, where I love my life, where I see everything and I appreciate everything. Like it's an uphill workout to get to that point. But anger is so quick, so easy. Like I have no issue just jumping right into anger. And then anger, like it doesn't even need to be fed. It feeds itself. It just grows. It's this massive thing. And I can switch from being so utterly grateful in my life to being so angry in a hot second, but turning the wheels the other way, going from anger to loving my life, that is a uphill work. It's an uphill. And I've figured out how to do it. I'll figure anything out and I'll muscle my way through it. But it's frustrated me how much I can slip into anger and how difficult it is sometimes to get to the other side. And my anger is mostly reserved for my poor dear husband who, like it's not safe for me to be angry in front of most people. In fact, I'm not angry in front of most people. Some of you might be shocked or surprised at how angry I can get and how quickly I can get angered and how excessive my thoughts can be about it. And I know that that's obviously very frustrating for my husband, and I don't want him to have to experience that. And so it's one of the things that I've wanted to address. But the thing is that anger is not usually, anger is a protective shield. It's protecting something else and that's underneath the surface. And I had one call today, it was like, well, you're hiding some shame. And it's like, okay, but I can't even feel the shame. Like, I can't even feel it. It was like, feel the shame. And I'm like, I can't feel the shame. The anger has been such a protective source for me that like the shame is so hidden. It's so buried deep down that it's like, I can't even touch it. I can't even scratch the surface of the shame. And then I went into this acupuncture, this virtual acupuncture session where it's really a hybrid of all kinds of modalities that she does. She is absolutely amazing. She is a magician. She's magic. And you know what's super incredible is that everyone who's joined my how to build a multi-million-dollar business for 97, you're going to get a session with her. Oh my God. The $97 is that you pay is so minimal compared to what you're going to get, especially now that we're adding in this healing session with her. Like, oh my God. But anyway, so the anger is covering something else. So we go into, she takes me into some deep breaths, and she guided me into this like meditative state. And she said, I want you to see the anger. And I've been experiencing a lot of like TMJ, and I've had it for a few years now, and it's getting worse and worse. My jaw just is locked all the time, and I have to constantly unpop it. And it's very frustrating because like I was literally eating a hamburger the other day, and I'm like, I can't open my mouth wide enough for the hamburger. And it was really frustrating. And I heard that anger is what hangs out in your jaw. And I'm like, that tension there. And even the dentist yesterday mentioned, like that's tension, that's anger. You gotta let that out. And so I'm like, but I express my anger all the time. I don't know what you mean. Like, I will shout my anger from the rooftops. And my poor dear husband is the one who gets most of it, right? So I'm like, I'm willing to share. I will say my anger, but it's not, again, the anger is a cover for something else. There's something buried underneath the anger. And one person identified it as shame. And I'm like, okay, but I can't even touch it, So today she had me go in and she said, where's the anger in your body? And I immediately went to my jaw. What color is it? It's red. It's like blood red. How much, like how heavy is it? I'm like, it literally squishes me. Like it completely takes over me. Anger is fully everything when I am angry. And then she says, I want you to feel the anger in your body, like allow it to fill every cell. And she also told me that we're going to change my relationship with anger because anger is actually a gift. And I was like, a little bit like, no, it's not. Anger is the worst thing ever. And I hate that I have it. That's how I felt at the beginning of the call. So then, she asked me to see the anger, feel it in my body. And then, and I did, and I felt it in my body. And then, she said to go back to the anger, to say, I want you to go back to that feeling, back to where you see it. And I saw it like as this big block. Basically, it was squishing me like I was under the block. It was just weighed down by the anger. And she said, there's a rug underneath the anger. I want you to lift it up, pull it out. And I lifted it up, and there was just little baby Melissa in the corner. And not like my baby, like me, baby Melissa. And she's like, "That what is that underlying feeling?" And it was being scared. Like I just had so much fear. I was so scared. And what came to me was like, like when someone's going to rescue a dog that's been abandoned and it's out and it's like on the streets and it's all mangled. And it's like, when you try to go get the dog, it bites you. It's like, I'm trying to love you. I'm trying to take care of you. I'm trying to protect you. I'm trying to help you. And the dog bites you and it runs away from you. That was the feeling that was emitting from little baby Melissa in this thing. And one of the things that's come up for me, like even at the Meant for Magic event with the chiropractor I talked about, Dr. Nima, the message that he's like, what does your little child want to say? I'm here. Don't forget me. And, there was a big feeling of this version of me felt like I was under the rug, forgotten, and no one's going to find me in this state. So like, imagine, that dog, out there in the wild, it's like, it doesn't think anyone's coming. And to a point where if someone does come, it bites them. And that's exactly what little Melissa was feeling. So, and then I was like, I come here. I want you to, so it's like, make love on yourself, provide yourself the love that you weren't receiving in that moment as a child. And there was some hesitancy. And one of the things we identified that I wanted to work through was my mistrust and my doubt. And I feeling like I'm the one who has to do everything. I have to take care of everything. I'm the one doing everything. And I doubt and I mistrust that other people can help me. And this mistrust comes from because when I was a child, this version of me happened because there was a time in my childhood where I was not taken care of the way I should have been. I wasn't comforted and loved the way that I should have been because my parents were stuck in their child too, right? So it's whole thing. But so I have this mistrust that there's anybody who can take care of me and love me, because the two people who were supposed to take care of me and love me weren't. They didn't in the capacity that I needed them to. And so I was calling out to little baby Melissa, like, come here. I need you to come here. I'm here. And there was some hesitancy, like she didn't want to. And that mistrust popped up for me. And part of it was I've tried to get other people to love on me the way that, I needed my parents to, right? We do that in our relationships. But David has not been able, because David, he can't be the one. It always has to be us. It has to be ourselves who meets our inner child first. So I've tried with David, I've tried with other people, and no one has been able to actually give me the love and support that I need. And then my parents didn't do it. So it's like, how could I trust you? And what came to me was the way in which I do love my baby, Melissa, my actual daughter, right? Because she's named Melissa too. And how funny that I do that. So I was like, oh my God, like I will always come to her and love her and hug her. She will never feel like she's alone. As long as I am there and she needs comfort and love, I'm going to provide it. I'm not going to withhold it from her. And that's when I realized, like, I can trust myself. I can trust myself. So then baby Melissa was able to just run up into me, sit on my lap, and I just loved her and I held her the same way that I hold my daughter. And it felt so incredible. It felt so good. And it felt so comforting to provide that love. And like so much of my anger just melted away, and so much of my mistrust and doubt was just leaving as I was holding her and providing her comfort. And then the next thing I was not expecting, she says, so in this, she's guiding me through the session. She said, can you forgive the people who planted this anger in you, who caused you to be in this spot? And I've forgiven my parents many times over, because I know that they have been the child who's been mistreated, and that's why they behave the way that they behave. So I logically know that, and I've logically forgiven them. But I don't know if spiritually and emotionally I have been able to forgive them. And I feel resistance to my parents. So I know that it's forgiven mentally, it's forgiven logically, but I don't know that it's been forgiven, spiritually and emotionally. So she asked me, can you forgive them? And what happened for me was that I actually witnessed my father and my mother as their baby selves. So, and then it was like they needed love too. And I, as the adult Melissa, was able to pick them. I picked up my father and I held him, like little baby version of him, before all of the stuff that happened to him, before he became an angry monster himself, before he became that dog that bites everyone who tries to come at him. And I loved and I hugged on him, and I loved and I hugged on my mother. And then my baby Melissa and my dad and my mom, all as little children, started playing together, and they even had popsicles. And then she asked me to connect my sacral with my heart and with an infinity loop. And I was like, okay. So then I visualized this golden cord going through my body. And then what started happening was the wildest thing, was that other people in my life came to me as their baby self, asking for loves and hugs. So like Janie, I don't know if you're still watching, but you came, and I was like, oh, Janie. And I hugged on little Janie. I hugged on my sisters. And then what really surprised me was two of the people who have really hurt me the most in my life. They came forward, and I hugged and loved on their baby selves. And I saw them for the little children that they were before they became what they became, because of their pain, because of their trauma, because of their journey. And I love them, and I hug them in the same way that I love and hug on my baby daughter. And then we all just started playing and having a good time. I just saw all these babies running around, and it was so great, and everyone was having such a good time. And then at the very end, she asked me she's like, I want you to check in on little Melissa. She had no idea what I was experiencing, all of this. She was doing her energy work. She was doing her magic. And at the end, she said, I want you to check in on little Melissa, and how does she feel? And what does she have to say? And the biggest thing was, let's play. And it was like, that was the big message to walk away. Like in the same way, you get that little dog that's like hiding under the the balcony, and it's been abandoned and nobody's feeding it, and it's filled with ticks, and then like slowly over time it's able to play with people and love on people. Like that, I got to that point in that session where I felt like little Melissa is ready to play. Like she feels safe again, she's ready to play. And this also related back to my feeling like I need to do as a sort of survival protection mechanism, and having everything figured out. And I was able to let that go and let it play. And then her and I had the most amazing conversation afterwards. And I said, do you do this in a group? This is amazing. She goes, I just recently had a calling that I should do this in a group. And so I invited her to come to my How to Build a Multi-Million-Dollar Business program. So everyone in that program is going to be able to receive a healing session from her. And then it has been on my heart for a very long time, but I have made no moves or no actions toward it. And then going to the Meant for Magic, it even made it bigger on me that I need to do an in-person event with people, that we need to have a retreat, that we need to do some healing stuff, some business building stuff, some magic stuff. And so I committed with her on the thing because I want her to come. And she lives in all the places in the world. She lives in one of my favorite places in the whole wide world, San Diego. I didn't even know that. And so it makes so much sense. And even the photographer that I was talking to, because I was like, if we do a retreat where we're building business, we got to have a photographer who's taking pictures of people so that they can use them to build their business. So she also lives in California, San Diego. I think she's in San Diego area. So we're going to have a retreat. It's going to be in San Diego, and I already committed to the dates. It's going to be December 14th through December 21st, somewhere in that time zone. And it's going to be amazing, and it's going to be epic. And we have lots of time, but I will get the details for you so that you can book it. It's going to definitely be a lower price at the beginning. The price will go up as we get closer to the end. And I want to get it out to you so that you guys can make payments if you need to, because that's something I know that I appreciate. I like smaller chunks. I'm going to do it. I'm going to have an event. We're going to have an event. We're going to be in person. It's going to be amazing. I don't know fully exactly what it's going to look like yet, but I'm going to plan it out. It's going to be epic. And it's going to happen in San Diego. And San Diego is one of the most amazing, incredible places for me. And also, like, when it came to me that those were the dates, it was like, that's when you went to Belize right before you built your business. So if you know my story at all, you know that in December of 2021, I met a random stranger on the internet, and her and I went to Belize. We had an incredible experience for 1 week. She stayed longer, but I left after 1 week. I did all kinds of amazing new things that I had never done before. Like snorkeling with the sharks, and swimming in dark caves, and kayaking in caves. And every time I just kept saying, brave new Melissa, brave new Melissa, brave new Melissa, brave new Melissa. And I came home with that identity. And then it was in January, that very next month, that I launched the Insurance Exam Queen business. So that time feels perfect. And then also that location, because it's on the beach, it's near the water, same type of environment as Belize. It's just freaking perfect. So we're doing it. We are doing a in-person event retreat with me. And let me know if you want to come, and I'll get the details organized. I've already let my COO know, who helps me run everything. She's super stoked. I already have people lined up to show up, to do amazing healing work, to do amazing things. And I'm super excited for it. So we'll get those details out for you as soon as I can. And wow, today was just magic. And now it is time for me to go play. So I'm going to go play with my baby, and more is coming. And I love you all so much. And join my How to Build a Multi-Million-Dollar Business program so that you can have one of these incredibly healing sessions. That was amazing. That was an absolutely incredible experience that I just had. And I'm so excited to be able to invite you all to it. So I love you all so much. Have an amazing day. I'll talk to you later. Bye. I'm going to go play.